Yeah.
Well. Oh, my piggy, my wiggy.
My ragtime
My, my only friend. My life is certainly changing very quickly now.
I had to venture into the city.
Oh,
Jesus Christ. What a good fucking movie.
Yeah, we're talking pig.
Pig.
You're listening to Booty Whiskey.
Booty.
It's Booty Whiskey. Hey, I'm your host, Patch William, a retired professional chef.
Sick.
I retired actually at the top of my game.
Fucking really?
I was extremely, you don't know this about me,
Yeah.
very renowned.
Huh.
Missoula's best chef.
Wow, a lot has happened, huh?
Everyone said that about me.
Yeah. You don't exist anymore, guy. Okay. Oh, and I'm the co-host, Austin Jenny. I'm a black market truffle dealer, actually. Deep web truffle interactions.
Online.
Yeah. .onion, baby.
It's a big market.
Yeah, it's huge. Yeah. I buy hits for people and I sell truffies. Talk to me about this movie. Talk to me. Tell me what you think.
Okay, this movie is sad and beautiful.
Yeah, big time.
It is slow, quiet, thoughtful.
Opened on a lovely drone shot. I
Yeah.
really liked that.
Just starts with water and music, or maybe just water and the sound of water. And then you just see Nicolas Cage, a.k.a. Robin Feld. Chef Robin Feld.
Chef Cage, dude? I never thought I was going to see it. That's awesome.
And he's just cleaning a cast iron pan in the river because he lives in a cabin, remote, off the grid. And today is the day that he wants to make rustic mushroom
Tart.
It's a rustic mushroom tart.
It's a 3 mushroom tart.
Well, it's one of my favorite dishes. Piggy, come here, piggies. It's time to eat. He lives with his pig.
Yeah, it's truffle pig.
Very prolific truffle hunting pig.
An absolute gem. She's a queen.
Real cutie.
Yep. Like one of those long-haired, little short brown ones. I like them.
Yeah.
I would have one of those.
I like them. They're very smart and emotional creatures.
Yeah, smarter than dogs, right?
Yes.
Surprisingly?
Yeah, there's, well, intelligence
Breeds of
is hard
dogs.
to
Yeah.
quantify
Yeah, of course.
objectively, but they have their own type of intelligence that is highly emotional, and they do have good memories and problem-solving skills.
You should get pigs.
Yeah. I'm going to hit you with a few of those tonight.
I'm down. Please enlighten me.
Yeah, so chapter 1 was called Rustic Mushroom Tart.
Yeah.
And
Kind of just like showing us his life, his average life.
We see him just hunting for truffles, cooking, going to sleep, listening to his radio, and then we meet the second character in the movie.
Yeah.
And he is just a young business guy who's buying truffles.
Truffle entrepreneur.
Yeah, he's a Portland-based trufflepreneur. He pulls up in a yellow Camaro.
Charger. Or
The Camaro. Because when he's
Camaro.
kicking it later, he's like, not the Camaro.
Yeah, it's a bumblebee, dude.
Yeah, he's in a bumblebee. Guy's wearing a gold watch, fancy shirt, thinks he's a real hot shot.
Yeah.
And he's actually just trading supplies for truffles.
Yeah.
So Robin Feld is not even doing it for money. He just trades the truffles out for the supplies he needs to continue to live in this cabin.
It's fucking sweet.
Yeah.
I really dig that.
Sustainable.
I see myself in that position someday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If
everything goes wrong, I'll be up in a cabin.
Exactly.
Just like that.
Trading. I won't be finding truffles, I'm sure.
No.
But I'll be trading squirrel pelts for
Get on the
Coleman's
skin
stove.
game.
I'm going to get in the skin game.
Classy. I like it.
Yeah. A lot of dollars in there. We've got a John Wick premise here.
Yeah. Revenge.
The pig is kidnapped suddenly.
Horrifyingly.
Yeah, it's very traumatizing. They hit Robin in his face with like a crowbar.
Yeah.
Something. It makes a
Metal
metal
pipe.
dink.
Ugh.
Bing!
Yeah.
Which starts off a hilarious little bit of the movie. This man never washes his face
No.
or like cleans himself in any way for the duration of the movie.
Yeah.
And he's constantly taking more and more damage.
Yeah, it just keeps getting bloodier, man.
Yeah, he's getting like split eye, like swelling cheeks.
Yeah.
He's like getting hit in his face over and over.
It's not like overly gory either. It's just like
No.
a realistic, like, man, he got beat the fuck up a couple times.
There's just like blood smears in his beard.
Yeah, it's real grimy.
Yeah. And as the movie goes on, he takes more and more damage and he just never washes it. It just stays on him the whole
It's
time.
completely unimportant. He has to find his pig.
Yeah. He is single-minded.
It's that laser beam chef focus, dude.
Yeah. Part of me wonders if it's also a metaphor. This movie seems very intentional. Like the script feels very intentional. I think there's a lot of symbolism in almost every scene. Every like important feeling piece of dialogue has some sort of like double meaning.
For sure. I mean, yeah, whether it's talking about the earthquake and tsunami or classical music, all of that stuff.
Yeah.
What those are, what the double meanings are, still.
It's a matter of interpretation, I guess. But I do think with this movie, it's not too hard to understand, I think.
Yeah.
And I think there's a right interpretation with this one. It's not one of those like ambiguous artsy movies. It's like indecipherable and dense. It's like pretty clear.
Yeah, about love, loss, passion.
It's just not super direct. They're not just telling you what to think. But I think the message is, if you're looking for it, is like easy to figure out.
I appreciate that shit.
Yeah. Like I don't really like inscrutable art.
Yeah. Yeah, when it's completely nonsensical.
Yeah,
that's a little rough.
Right. Like Earl Sweatshirt has a line where he's like, she asked me what kind of music I make. I make the type of music that you have to read. I'm like, okay.
Really?
Yeah. I get it. I get what he's saying, but it's a little much. It's like,
That is a little
it is
much.
music at the end of the day. Like, I don't want to have to read it.
Yeah.
It should, like, I do like dense lyrical rap.
When did he say that? Was that more recent?
I don't know. I don't remember the song
Yeah.
it was on. It was just
Nonetheless.
playing in my
Yeah.
car the other day. Huh. But I think actually the artist name was Mavi, all caps Mavi.
Oh.
And I know
He's
it's
a
Earl
feature?
Sweatshirt rapping.
Yeah.
I wonder, it's an artist. I don't know. I'm not familiar with Mavi, but I wonder if that's
Me
like one of those things where it's like Earl Sweatshirt and a producer, and then they like make a new name.
Oh.
Or something like
could
that.
be. That would be crazy. But yeah.
But yeah, he's like, I make the kind of music that you have to read. And I'm like, okay, I understand the sentiment. You make dense lyrical rap that's like too inscrutable to hear and understand.
Yeah, too heavy for, especially if just like for one listen and such. You know?
And I like Earl Sweatshirt, but
Yeah.
that kind of
Well, I get
art
it.
sometimes it's like
Well, this is the
annoying.
tedious nature of it, you know?
Yeah.
I don't want to have to fucking... I'm not trying to do homework half the time.
Yeah,
when I'm like
exactly.
enjoying a record or an album specifically.
Some movies feel like that way.
Definitely. If you want me to write like code out
Yeah.
while I'm watching a movie, that's a step
Exactly.
over the line.
Pig is not that way.
No.
But Pig is still steeped in metaphor and symbolism and like deeper meanings. But you can watch it and just enjoy it.
Yeah.
As a sort of a drama. It's just a good drama.
Yeah.
But if you're looking for it and you want to get heady, like it's giving you a lot of ammo to do that too.
Yeah. And so this was both our second watch. And I think at least this time for me, when it all came back to me as rewatching it, it was far more cerebral than the first time. Because the first time I watched it, I was just surprised.
Yeah.
You know, just like, oh shit, he was a chef. Oh, the pig. You know?
Yeah, right.
But yeah, this time with like further analyzation, I could definitely tap a lot more into that sort of stuff.
Once you're not watching it for the plot as much, it allows you to watch it for the other things and to sort of like just read the text.
Yeah. Makes me think of like all the other movies that we've watched throughout the series that we watched for the first time. What it would be like to go back, but we don't got time for that.
Leaving Las Vegas round 2.
No. No. We had that conversation. We're done with it.
All right, so the pig is kidnapped. quickly after, so he gets knocked out during the kidnapping. He wakes up and he tries to make it basically back to society. He tries to drive his truck. It breaks down. He walks the rest of the way. Just
breaks
leaves.
Down like immediately.
Yeah. Engine gives out, steaming in the woods. He just abandons it. And he just walks to the highway. And then he walks on the highway in the middle of the lane.
Doesn't give a fuck, dude.
Yeah, people are behind him honking, going around him. He's just walking in the right lane of the highway.
Yeah, he's a pretty hard man.
Yeah, he does not entertain a fool.
No, or it seems like he doesn't really subscribe to or care for any just modern ideals of how you should behave.
The social constructions that govern the way we all interact with each other do not apply to this man.
He doesn't fucking care.
Yeah. He ends up going to this little diner, which is basically just first contact of society on the highway, to use the phone. He asks if Marge is there, and the lady's gives him this look. She's like, Marge died 10 years ago.
10 years. That's some serious self-isolation.
Yeah,
That's
this is a
crazy.
recluse.
Yeah.
I assumed that he is a recluse because of what they're showing us, but you really get a sense of the scale when you hear 10 years.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, a couple years is one thing, but 10 years, a decade away from everyone else.
I was imagining 6 months at a time. Then you go into town, get supplies, see your fam, come back.
You have a dude fucking just running you your shit. You're just out there.
Yeah, he's just been living with his pig for 10 years.
That's crazy.
Or over 10 years.
Yeah. Later
Later in the movie, they say that it's been 15 years since he quit the restaurant industry. Somewhere between 10 and 15, 10 and 13, something like that.
a long ass fucking time.
Anyways, he calls in that young guy, his truffle dealer. Mm-hmm. And he comes in his Camaro, picks him up, brings him to the city. And the hunt for his pig begins.
Yeah.
I forget the name of the character they go in to meet, but he goes right to this. Well, I guess actually first.
Edgar?
Yeah, it's Edgar, but I guess I'm skipping a part. They do go to the sort of truffle middleman.
Yeah, the hillbillies.
The hillbilly truffle dealers. And they do track down the junkies that stole the pig.
Yeah, immediately.
Right away.
It was really interesting, too, that he had no hate for him.
Yeah.
At all.
He kind of doesn't actually at any point in this movie hold resentment or even care about people's motivations.
Yeah.
He just needs the results.
He just wants his pig.
He just needs the pig.
That's crazy.
He really seems to have a good understanding of human failure and inability. He accepts the imperfections of all these people and it isn't judging them or trying to demand retribution of them.
Yeah.
He's just meeting them where they're at and trying to get results.
Yeah.
Every time.
Intelligent way about going about your life.
Yes.
I don't know how to
Some
do that.
would say it's the anti-John Wick approach.
Yeah. I think you said that.
I was sort of thinking throughout this movie that it feels like the antithesis of the John Wick revenge movie, where the dog dies and then he goes out and he gets justice. And it's maybe there's no justice, but it's revenge.
Yeah.
In this movie, he's specifically not doing that.
Mm-hmm. I feel like he kind of could.
He's not hurting anybody. He never exercises any violence in this movie. He actually takes quite a bit of violence.
Yeah.
Willingly.
Yeah.
But does not do any of it. It's just a very interesting flip of the John Wick formula.
For sure.
The anti-revenge movie.
No, panned out really well.
In the sense that he did not get his pig back.
Oh, no. Just the movie itself.
Oh, not for the character, though.
No.
Spoilers.
Yeah. Spoiler alert.
Anyways, they find the pig kidnappers, and they're just sort of junkies who are hired to do it. And he gets some information from them and then moves on, I think. Mm-hmm. It's not even very useful information.
No, I think it's just like building like the lore of the truffle
Yeah.
underground empire.
It is.
I think that's literally the whole purpose.
The
of that
woman
scene.
who like turns them in is the main like sort of market owner. She's
Yeah.
like running the truffle market there.
Yeah.
And when he says that his pig was stolen, she gets up and she's furious.
Yeah. Immediately.
She's like, I care deeply about the type of people I do business with. And it's clear that she has this like code of ethics regarding like the sales and distribution of truffles.
Well, that's good.
It is good.
You know?
I mean, it is a serious business. They're
Yeah.
very expensive.
Of course.
More than gold, right?
Yeah. Per
So,
ounce
like,
for sure.
Yeah. So it's a real sort of heavyweight market for cutthroat business people when you start getting at certain scales. It's just very funny that it's like such a whimsical product.
Yeah. It's a mushroom. It's
Just a mushroom that
tastes good.
that people like really like in their food.
Yeah.
It's not even like a medicinal. It's just for pleasure.
Yeah.
It's just for the culinary use. So just a very whimsical, high value item.
Yeah. Yeah. I never would have thought there was a black market for it.
So after that, he goes to Edgar, this
Yeah.
mysterious man, Edgar.
He's one step up
Yeah, and
in this trade.
we don't really know what Edgar, why he's important, what he's doing, but we do know he's important just because after he meets with Edgar, the young guy, I forget his name as well,
Yeah.
the young truffle salesman who's been driving him around, his driver. We'll just call him the driver for a while.
Okay.
The driver is like, how do you know Edgar? And he's like shocked. He's like, how do you know Edgar?
Mm-hmm.
Because at this point, the driver doesn't understand who this guy is. He doesn't know. He even thinks that Robin Feld's name is just Rob, and he doesn't know his last name. It's just some guy, Rob, who gives him truffles.
Yeah. Knows nothing about his history.
He's going to find out over time that Robin Feld is actually the retired chef who is like, sounds like he's easily the most prestigious chef in Portland.
Yeah. It sounds
The way people talk about him.
Yeah, I said like at one point specifically said like he influenced at least 60% of whatever's
Every restaurant in the city like owes him a debt.
Yeah.
So he's like one of the most high value, like most renowned chefs in Portland's history. Mm-hmm. And he just sort of like fell off the map at some point. And his sort of like reputation gets them a lot of favors.
Yeah.
As
definitely.
that's revealed. But at this point he doesn't know. And he's like, how do you know Edgar?
Yeah.
And we don't know what Edgar does, but he tells Robin that he remembers a time where his name used to have value, but now no one knows who you are. You're like, you don't exist.
Don't exist.
Yeah, he's like, in the city, you don't exist. I remember when your name had value.
Yeah. Pretty harsh.
Yeah.
It makes me feel like there was like some pretty bad blood there. Maybe he was like the old truffle guy when Robin was still a chef or something. Wouldn't be surprised at all.
Yeah, we never really actually learn what Edgar does.
No.
Outside of running an illegal underground fight club.
Yeah. For service industry workers.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't know what the hell was going on in
This
that
is the
building.
funniest part of this whole thing. There's like this secret society of truffle culture, like restaurateurs.
Yeah, and like in tunnels under Portland.
Yeah, they go into this whole thing where like the Hotel Portland was demolished in the 1950s, but they just covered it up and turned it into the park.
Yeah.
But the sub-basement is still intact. And in that sub-basement, Edgar holds a secret service industry fight club.
That's sweet. Where you get to beat up seemingly homeless people for like a time allotted betting system. It's fucking weird.
Yeah, this was a confusing scene at first.
Yeah.
I think I understand it now after we talked about it. Mm-hmm. But basically, they go into this basement, and there's a fight club happening with a 1 minute timer that's going. And the scene starts, and you're witnessing the end of the previous fight. And I think what's happening is people from the service industry offer themselves up to take a beating from other people in the service industry.
Yeah.
And I gather that the people doing the beating are like waiters and line cooks,
Busboys,
dish
all of
pit guys. And then the people taking the beating are head chefs, GMs, owners. And
Sounds fucking kind of sweet.
Yeah. And so he puts his name on the board to start taking offers because everybody starts putting money down when they see who they're all like, basically it's like an auction system. They're bidding to get the chance to beat him up.
Yeah.
And he puts his name up, Robin Feld, and everyone puts down all their money.
Yeah.
Which is in stark contrast to the scene before where Edgar is telling him, your name has no value. Then he literally writes his name on a chalkboard and everyone's money comes out.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, when you're that reputable of a chef,
Everyone wants to kick your ass.
Yeah, can you imagine if Ramsay disappeared 15 years? Came back and did a Fight Club?
Who wants to fuck me up?
Here. It's raw.
What I don't understand about that scene is what the people who are getting beat up get out of it.
Cash.
They get to keep the money?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
the money? Or just the money
I
of the
think it's
bidder?
dependent on the time that they get to.
That they survive?
Yeah.
Because it's like a 1 minute time.
Yeah, I think that's just like the full amount of money.
I was taking it that you have to survive the minute to win the money, period.
That first guy didn't survive the minute, did he?
So he didn't get the money.
He got $500.
Did he?
Yeah.
I thought he did survive the minute, though.
Oh, well, then he might have.
Because I thought the first scene we see is the timer going off and the fight ending.
Huh. Yeah.
But either way, you have to take a beating for a minute. Maybe it is for the money. Do you think they get all the money that's bid? Or just the money from the highest bidder? It's not that much money.
Yeah.
Like, if I was a head chef in Portland...
You would hope they don't need that money.
Super prestigious. I wouldn't go get my ass kicked for $500.
No, probably
like, what's the real purpose of this Fight Club?
I actually don't know.
Interesting scene, nonetheless.
Yeah.
I really appreciated the culinary dimensions of this movie.
Yeah. All the different title cards, that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Everything.
The title cards are all recipes. Obviously, like, truffles are an ingredient for food, and he's a chef, so everything that's happening is sort of like tying into the restaurant scene in some way or another. Mm-hmm. And there's just a lot of reverence for food
and like how a dish
art
can make you feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wrote down on my notes, because of the scene at the end, the emotional power of food. Mm-hmm. Smell equals memory.
Yeah. Yeah.
But, yeah.
I mean, I guess that kind of takes us into that restaurant scene, after.
That is an awesome scene.
Dude, it's crazy. That might be worth playing, actually.
Yeah. Should I pull it up?
Yeah, I think that'd be a good one. Good
At least part of it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah, to set you guys up, it's Nick Cage, he's the chef, and he is going back to the restaurant that after he took the beating, he got a tip-off from Edgar to what restaurant basically got the pigs. The pig hired, or hired to steal the pig. And he shows up at that restaurant and talks to an old chef that he used to teach.
I'm looking for a truffle pig.
I don't understand.
I just want to know about the pig.
Tell him who you are. Come on, tell him.
He just looks up at this other chef. Just shows him his bloody face.
Yeah, he's still fucking bloody as shit.
So bloody, he never cleans his face.
Chef Feld. Oh my God. May I?
Immediate reverence.
How are you?
The chef sits
you've been off
down
the
so
scene
they're
for what,
on equal.
10 years?
15.
Really? Okay. I thought you were, well, I mean, the time is very,
Sure.
Yeah. I'm sorry, do you need medical attention?
No, thank you.
You probably don't remember me, but I actually worked at Hestia.
You were a prep cook for 2 months.
Was it 2 months?
I fired you because you always overcooked the pasta.
Now this is excellent. This is a 2012 Pinot from just 20 miles away.
you know about the pig?
Why do you want a pig?
It's my pig.
Oh, okay. That's great. That's a great business. It's an expanding industry. It's
Someone stole it.
That guy is so full of shit.
I know. It's so clear,
It's an
too.
expanding industry.
I really I respect you, Chef. I always have. But I'm running a business here, and people have expectations. Critics, investors, so forth, and truffles are a key part of the whole concept of the winter menu, and they need to be the top of the line. So you understand. I have the utmost respect for you, utmost.
Staring at him.
Just fucking looking through him.
What is the concept here?
Well, we're interested in taking local ingredients native to this region and just deconstructing them. You know, making the familiar feel foreign, thereby giving us an even greater appreciation of food as a whole.
This is the kind of cooking you like?
It's cutting edge. It's very exciting.
Exciting.
Sheet.
It's
I mean,
shit.
everybody loves it.
The critics, the investors.
Yep.
You like
Everybody.
cooking it?
Everybody loves it. Fucking his voice.
Absolutely.
Derek, what was it you always used to talk about opening? Wasn't it a pub?
Everyone loves it here. This is a huge success.
Why didn't you open your pub?
I don't know that I really wanted.
Sound of a man
Such a
breaking.
long time ago.
When I fired you, I asked you what you wanted to do. You said you have a few rooms upstairs. A real English pub.
Did I say that?
Yes.
Nobody wants pubs around here. It's just a terrible investment.
What was going to be your signature dish?
Liver Scotch eggs with a honey curry mustard.
They're not real. You get that, right?
I love this part.
None of it is real. The critics aren't real. The customers aren't real. Because this isn't real. You aren't real.
He's breaking down.
Okay.
Derek,
Totally.
why do you care about these people? They don't care about you. None of them. They don't even know you. Because you haven't shown them. Every day you'll wake up and there'll be less of you. You live your life for them and they don't even see you. You don't even see yourself. We don't get a lot of things to really care about.
Jeez.
Just drinking so much
Chugging
wine. Right
wine. Chugging a full glass of expensive wine. You just broke that man.
He just exposed his entire operation as being a fraud.
Yeah.
It's like, this is all fake.
Yeah.
Your fucking winter menu concept is bullshit.
Yeah. You think it's worth my fucking pig's life, dude?
You think you care about critics and investors?
No.
They don't even know you.
You aren't happy. Yeah, dude. Oh.
You haven't shown them you because you wanted to do an English pub.
Yeah.
And now you're doing fucking. Oh, I wish we had gotten the actual when the server comes out and gives the description. She's like, it's a seafoam.
Yeah, with like huckleberry snow and stuff.
In a elder pine smoke.
Oh.
It's gross.
Yeah, that's disgusting. That's not what we need.
So that scene is a major scene in this movie in terms of hitting on like the theme and meaning
Yeah, big
It's
time.
one of the most important scenes, I think, because Chef Feld is right. He's an older man than this younger chef,
Yeah.
and he has experienced what this guy is going through, and he's telling him, look, you're doing it wrong.
He's so sincere, you know? He's not being a dick about it at all.
He's looking into his soul,
Yeah.
and he's telling him, this won't make you happy.
Yeah. Damn. Dog.
And the guy is, to his credit, he's a really good actor in
That
this
was
scene.
really good.
He's like, just in his eyes and in his fake smile, you see the cracks start to come through every time another sentence comes out of Nick Cage's mouth. It just breaks this man to his core because it's all true. He's
And
like,
he knows it, dude.
he's like, I'm not happy. I don't believe in the philosophy of our menu concept.
He doesn't care about the critics.
I don't like what I'm doing here. What is the success worth if I'm not happy? That's like the real message of this movie.
Yeah.
In a number of ways, we see this come up, but passion, love, happiness,
Yeah.
these are valuable goals.
Yeah.
And anytime money or culture, relationships or expectations, society in whatever way gets in between you and happiness, love, or your passion,
Yeah.
get rid of it.
It's a hard life to live too, though, you know?
Yeah, it
You're
is.
making a lot of sacrifices when you do something like that.
And at some point in the movie, it's sort of like a throwaway line that I think they use for comic relief because his character's all bloody and disheveled and they're trying to get in. But the driver calls him a Buddhist.
Oh, yeah.
And I think it's a deeper line than I thought at first.
Yeah. I mean, that is pretty Buddhist, isn't it?
Yeah, he's not interested in material goods,
No.
wealth, possessions.
Just trying to, like, reach
Prestige.
enlightenment through what he loves to do.
Yeah, he follows his path
Yeah.
towards his happiness and his love, and he just like sticks to his thing,
Oh. Shit, man.
which is his pig.
Yeah.
And his pig was stolen. So now he's reverse John Wicking the entire industry of Portland's truffle restaurant scene.
That's a crazy concept for a movie, man.
Yeah. There's another scene in chapter 2, which is titled Mom's French Toast and Deconstructed Scallops. Funny.
Yeah.
Funny little phrase there. But there's the first scene of chapter 2 is the driver kid and Chef Feld just talking in his apartment. And it's just like the next morning. And Nick Cage's face is still covered in blood.
Yeah. Yep.
But they're just like talking in his apartment, just sort of waking up,
Yeah.
I think.
The other guy, the driver, made him breakfast.
Yeah, and it's French toast, what he made him. And he's telling him a story about his parents. They used to always go on date nights. He says
when they went on
they
date
didn't
nights.
actually always go because his dad was so busy. His
Yeah.
dad's sort of a ruthless businessman.
Yeah.
But when they went on date nights, they'd come home fighting, drunk, fighting, arguing most of the time. And one time they come home happy as he's ever seen them, smiling, still drunk,
Yeah.
but like genuinely happy. And
Elated with the food, you know.
he's
just-
almost never seen him this happy. And that was the night they went to Chef Feld's restaurant. And then he reveals that later on his mom did commit suicide.
Yeah.
And it creates this sense of there's like a tension, right? Because she's happy,
Yeah.
but she's also sad enough to kill herself. And both of those things were true at different times in her life. But they can't like cancel each other out or something like that.
Yeah.
And then Nick Cage's character gives this weird story about how every 200 years the West Coast experiences a major earthquake that destroys it'll be big enough to destroy the entire city, and it'll be followed up by a 20-foot tall tsunami that will take everything in Portland to the bottom of the sea.
Yeah. Wash it all away.
And there's this foreboding sense of inevitability of death,
Yeah.
of destruction, that like no matter what you do with your life, time is going to erase you, and life doesn't care, and there will be no record of your achievements. And it's this very like, at first glance, it appears nihilistic almost, but
That's what I immediately thought.
yeah, I think it's not quite nihilistic. It's more just existential in the sense that he still cares about things. There still are those moments of happiness. He still, at the end of this, tells the driver, hey, you should make your French toast with stale bread because
Yeah.
it's better for whatever reason. And the fact that he concludes with advice about life means he's still invested in life. A nihilist would not do that.
No, definitely not.
I mean, a nihilist would kill themselves. If you truly don't care about
a true
anything,
nihilist, yeah. No.
you'd be dead already. So
Yeah.
no walking, talking, breathing person is a true nihilist.
Yeah.
But he's still invested in these little pockets of happiness, despite the sort of like tsunami that he alludes to, the inevitable tsunami that's coming for us. Doesn't mean you can't enjoy your French toast.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I feel like it's like telling you should actively choose to.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's like really beautiful, but also sad and dark.
Tis life.
Yeah, it gives me the feeling of like when you sit and think about life and death for like too long, and you start to get like sad, but also like happy. I don't know
It's
what.
weird. It's like a beautiful depression. It's
Yeah,
like not. It's not
exactly.
It's
No,
not good, but
There's a weird word that I don't know in. I think it's in Japanese or German. Their languages have these very specific words in them.
yeah.
But it's for the specific sadness you feel after you read a book and you realize you can never read it again for the first time.
Just experiencing something in general, though, for the first time is the idea.
Yeah, it's like, well, I can never have that experience again. I could read the book again, but
Yeah.
not for the first time.
Yeah.
It's gone.
That is a sad feeling, man.
Yeah.
After I finish some of like my favorite video games ever, and I'm like, oh, or
Yeah.
even movies even more specifically, you know.
I get nostalgia a lot thinking about my childhood, thinking about playing Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time on N64. And yeah, I can go play it as an adult, and sometimes I do.
Yeah.
I've got it on my Switch.
Yeah, the nostalgia feels good too, you know.
It feels good, but there's this sadness in the back of my mind as I play it as an adult, knowing that it's just not the same.
No,
I'm
and
just
in,
not-
in reality, it's not even close.
It's not. I'm not feeling the same way.
No, because you're different, you know. It's the
Yes.
whole perspective's different.
Yes.
Yeah, man, I get that.
No man enters the same river twice, for he is not the same man, and it is not the same river. Buddhist.
Is that an actual quote? A
It
Buddhist
is.
quote? That's
yes.
awesome.
But it's like you can't hold on to these moments, no matter how good they are.
Yeah.
No matter how good the food was that night and how happy you were when you came home.
Yeah,
She still killed herself in the end.
the progression still happened. He still disappeared into the woods.
Yeah. And I don't know. It's sort of like a bittersweet philosophy.
Yeah,
This sort of like Buddhist philosophy of like accepting loss. The idea that like your suffering mainly comes from your attachment to things.
yeah,
And if you can let go of the attachment, you let go of the suffering. But then it's like, are you just an emotionless, like walking corpse at that point?
It depends on what you're getting rid of, in my eyes, you know? If you are able to detach from your material possessions that are just tying you to this, you know, society and culture that we've created around that, then sure, that's probably a good thing. But to
That'll-
let go of your, like, family and loved ones,
Yeah.
that's much...
And I think
Darker.
to its credit, the movie is not advocating that you would do that. And
No.
It's advocating the opposite, which is probably why it's titled Pig, because that pig is the only thing that he loves at this point.
Everything else is gone.
Yeah. He's just got this pig. It's the only other relationship that he has.
Yeah.
You know?
Sad, dude.
And he's given up everything else, but he loves his pig. And at one point, he admits to the driver, he's like, I don't need the pig to find Truffles.
No, yeah, the trees tell him.
He's like, I look at the trees. They tell me what I need to know as far as where they're.
That's one of the first signs, actually, too, or scenes. He's eating that dirt.
Yeah.
He's chewing on that dirt.
He's walking around, looking at trees, sniffing dirt. He lets the pig find the truffle for him, but he could have found it.
Yeah, I think just to make her feel good. Oh, make her feel used and wanted.
Useful.
Oh, damn, bro.
I love that little snorter.
Me too. Didn't we end our last episode snorting up a storm?
Snorting with a reverb swell. I promise I won't abuse a reverb anymore.
Yeah, we'll see.
That was a one-time thing.
A special episode. Yeah, no, this was a phenomenal movie. I really loved it a lot.
Really advocates for following your passion and living a full life and putting love and happiness on top of everything else.
Yeah, that's a really good way to look at life.
I think so, yeah.
We didn't talk about what he did for the driver's dad at all.
Yeah, that's a pretty cool scene.
Yeah, it is.
That was the scene that caused me to mention earlier that the emotional power of food.
Yeah.
So the dad of the driver is also a truffle dealer. He's distant from his son and won't let his son work with him in the business.
Yeah, he thinks he's a bitch.
He basically thinks he's not cut out for it. That he says to the chef that the industry will eat him alive.
Yeah, he belongs in a desk job.
And it turns out that because he was trying to impress his dad, basically, he told his dad about this guy that he was getting truffles from. And technically speaking, that's his competitor. And his dad's cutthroat. And he went after his son's supplier's pig. And it was the dad that kidnapped the pig.
Yeah, through the hillbillies.
Right, he hires them to do it.
Yeah.
And so now we have this relationship between the chef and the dad, where the chef was there and cooked them the meal that made his wife happy that one time.
Yeah.
But we have this dad whose wife committed suicide and he's deeply depressed.
Yeah, he's
and
extremely cold now.
Yeah, now he's just like bordering on psychopathic towards his business.
I mean, and that relates to chef's wife. Chef's wife died as well, we assume.
Yeah, they sort of don't give you a lot of information about it.
No, not really.
They just tell you that he had a wife and that she's dead now, and they don't tell her like how.
I mean, I think
or
it's
when
just
or-
alluded that that's why he disappeared to the woods, you know?
right. And it's like two different ways of dealing with it. But yeah, you've got this dad who kidnapped his pig because he's a cutthroat businessman, and he's so cutthroat because his wife died.
Yeah.
And he's just dark now and has no love in his life. And then you have this other guy who recluded himself to the woods with his pig and does everything for the pig.
Yeah.
Only for love.
Yeah, built his life for love after his wife died.
And what he chooses to do, he says, I remember every meal I've ever cooked. I remember every person I've ever served, which is crazy.
Not me, bro.
I do 250 rolls a night, and I don't want to know any of you.
I am deleting you from my fucking memory banks, guys.
But chef and the driver, the son, they go out, they acquire all the materials that he needs to recreate the meal, including down to the exact wine vintage.
Yeah.
Which is very rare
Which
vintage.
is crazy because that'd be a 15-year-old later.
Yeah.
And who knows when he made them that dinner, you know?
Yeah, they had to go through all these hoops and meet these people and go find these very rare items. He goes back to like his wife's protege, who was a baker, who baked the bread that night, and she's still doing the same recipe. It's her salted baguette.
That sounds good.
I'll go for a crunchy little baguette.
Salty baguette, dude.
Smelly one.
Sheesh. Oh, please.
Miss Piggy. They recreate the meal for the dad. He sits down reluctantly, takes a few bites, smells the wine, drinks the wine,
Starts to cry.
cries.
Yeah. Just hits him like a ton of bricks.
And
man.
the acting is so good in this movie.
yeah.
Everyone killed it.
Every single person. Yeah.
Like Nick Cage, awesome in this
Yep.
movie.
Yeah. Stoic and,
But emotional.
yeah.
Like
versatile. Like his expressions were all very versatile.
lots of like, I would call them like micro expressions, but deeply moving ones. Like
Definitely.
he's showing so much by doing so little.
Yeah. Like on like his walk back, for like right after his pig got taken, when he's walking to that that restaurant or whatever. Yeah. That scene was just like, man, seeing his face. It's like, oh.
Yeah. He does so much with his eyes and like just the way he holds his lips. Like you can see the tension in his soul through like his jaw.
Not to mention half the movie's fucking face is swollen to shit.
Yeah.
you
Covered
know,
in
and
blood.
It's just like the slight grimace. He's looking through pain, but still hopeful. It's incredible.
And when that dad goes from reluctantly sitting down with this shithead son and this annoying chef, and he's like
Fucking
doing all this shit with his face till he's like rolling his eyes and like smacking his lips, sort of like, let's get this over with.
yeah.
To legitimately crying and like expressing that emotion of reliving a moment with his dead wife. It's so good.
Yeah. And then he goes up to his office and shakily pours himself a big old fucking glass of whiskey and downs it. Nick Cage comes in afterwards and it's like, man.
He's like, get out of here.
No.
And he just stares at him silently. There's a lot of silent staring in this movie.
Yeah, you were right with your assessment earlier. It is certainly a quiet movie,
Yeah.
you know, as far as it goes. It has its moments, but like it's very tactical when it uses its sound.
I think there's a sense in which staring at someone represents like seeing them truly, like getting a good read on a person.
Good look at him, yeah.
And there's that line with the other chef when the scene we already played where he says, none of these people know you. None of these people can even see you. You can't even see yourself. They don't know you because you haven't shown them you. And I get the sense with a lot of these scenes that like there's these prolonged staring matches between
Yeah.
characters, and it's to do with that concept of like
Yeah.
he knows them.
Yeah. He
And-
can literally look right through them.
Yeah. And when they look at each other in their eyes long enough, there's this realization that happens of like clarity, of like truth that's coming out.
Yeah.
Like, I know what you are.
That's
And
an actual scientific study that they did.
Really?
I cannot quote you on where the fuck it was.
Yeah.
I read it on some shit years ago. But like the act of two people staring into each other's eyes, like even people on extremely opposite sides of political views, all that stuff, it for like I think it was like 10 minutes or something, radically decreases the aggression and
Word.
just the incompatibility of views. It just makes all arguments go much smoother, all of that stuff.
look
Yeah.
in the eyes.
Yeah. I mean, I get it. I mean, it's the way to humanize someone, you know.
The window to the soul.
Yeah, it's the very plane of most of our expressions, you know.
Yeah, it's a big part of this movie. It's a
Yeah.
big part of Chef Feld's character is understanding people and seeing them.
God damn, dude.
It's a really good movie,
Yeah,
dude.
I know. Do you know what its score is on
No.
Tomatoes? 97.
Wow,
Yeah, that's pretty good, man.
that is good.
So I've been thinking here, sitting here. We
Yes.
haven't talked about two things.
Hairlines.
Whip, whip, whip.
We get the reverb out. Hairlines.
Hairline.
His hair is long.
It's raspy.
Ish. It's like shoulder length. It's oily,
Ratty.
wispy.
Yep.
Looks old.
Doesn't
It's
shower
gray.
much. Yeah.
Does not look like the hair of a man with a good self-care routine.
No. I can't tell if it's real. Looks pretty good, though.
Yeah, we were trying to assess if it was a wig or not. It looks, if it's a wig, it's one of the best wig jobs I've ever seen. Because
Yeah.
I feel like there's a lot of face shots in this movie where I can see the roots of his hair coming out of his forehead and shit. Like, it looks like his real hair. I
Yeah.
think it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
The hairline-
Beard's looking good too. Hairline's not
Normal. It didn't.
negligible.
Yeah,
you know?
like I feel like when the hair is grown out, the widow's peaks become less of a centerpiece of the head.
They're not defined, crisp, 4-inch receded caves.
They're not defining your face for the world. You've got so much else to look at framing it.
Yeah. No, it was pretty standard, pretty good.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Greasy little hair.
Yeah. The Cage level of this movie is mighty low.
Mighty low.
Mighty low, I would
There's
say.
one moment that was cagey, but even then,
one
it
yell.
really wasn't cagey.
No, it wasn't.
It was very in character for Chef Feld.
Yeah, it definitely was. It was. I can't even remember what he yelled, but it was just.
He
that.
literally just yelled, "Hey!" He's stealing a bike.
Oh yeah,
Because after he gets in a fight with the driver's dad, the kid refuses to give him a ride again.
Yeah.
He's like, "Get out of here," you know.
Yeah.
It's over it. And so, you know, he's got a pig to find. So, by any means necessary,
homie's gotta go. All right.
he finds a bike on someone's porch and like just pulls it off the porch and starts going. And the kid runs up. He's like, gonna say something, and Nick Cage just turns to him and he's covered in blood, greasy hair, disheveled, dirty shirt, big beard, and he just goes,
Gives him a psychotic person.
just
scream.
looks at him and yells, and the kid just backs off and he rides away.
Yeah,
That was a funny cagey moment.
It was, but the only one, and because of that, I would probably give it like a 0.5. Really, really weak tin. No, what are those little things?
Straw.
Toothpick cage.
Yeah, straw cage,
Maybe like a floss cage.
string cage. Yeah, a needlepoint thread cage. It was. I might give it a 0, honestly. Like, I don't even think that scene was cagey. Like, it was very in character for. I don't think that Nicolas Cage like went above and beyond his script to make that happen.
No, yeah, you're
That
right.
was really like just written that way.
Yeah, no, he really took this one to a whole new place.
He played it straight.
Yeah,
He played it straighter than almost anything he's ever played in his career.
some of the best acting we've seen all season.
Yeah.
Crazy, not necessarily from Nick Cage. It was really good.
Yeah.
But like the surrounding actors, I think was one of the
All of
best.
it was amazing.
Yeah.
And I do want to say there is maybe a tendency in people to conflate big acting with good acting. Very dramatic moments. They need to have a lot of yelling or pacing, or like they need to be big. And this movie, if anything, is a masterclass in subtlety.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, most of the time he's just feeling it, you know.
He's just looking,
just wearing it on his
sitting.
face, you know.
Yeah. And that is way harder. Like, one of the hallmarks of bad acting is overacting.
For sure. Just being overblown and shitty all the
Yeah.
time. I don't need that.
If you go to every movie in the 80s and 90s, all the bad, dumb action adventure movies, all those rookies are just yelling all their lines.
Yeah.
What do you think about that? Like, it's like, okay, dude, you
That
don't.
looks very good.
You clearly don't know how to act like at all. This is like the anti-overacting. It's just subtle, artistic, done with care and intentionality. It's really just the character is driving the moment, and it's really perfect in this movie.
We didn't watch this interview on the pod, but we saw him talking briefly that he was going through a lot in his life and that he had not really been acting for at least a little bit.
I could play some of this.
Yeah, we should also look up the discography, see where he was.
This movie came right after Mandy.
Right after?
This is 2021.
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, I guess, yeah. This was context. This was right when this was probably one of the first movies that was coming out and hitting the screens after COVID.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Yeah, honestly, when did the COVID lockdowns happen? 2020?
We shut down
March
like
2020.
the end of March, beginning of April-ish, 2020.
Yeah. So this was the next year. So they filmed this during COVID restrictions.
Yeah, and you can kind of see it. I mean, most of the movie, there's not that many people.
And when they are indoors, everyone is spaced out a lot. Like the
Yeah.
restaurant scene, the tables are all very
Got
far
that
away.
6 feet in between,
They
baby.
do. Like most of the scenes are just between like up to 3 people.
Yeah, and I'm sure, I bet we could look it up. I bet they were all quarantined together for this whole shoot.
Yeah. But yeah, we do have a good interview here, just a little moment that's
Yeah.
worth hearing Nick Cage talk about this movie.
Let's do it.
Pig is fantastic, and you are so great in this role. I'm curious, what was it about this project that said, I want to do this? This is important to me.
It was a screenplay that I thought was written with great sincerity. It had no other motivation than to just tell a quiet story of loss. There were things about it that reminded me of almost like a Japanese haiku, in meaning that, 5, 7, 5 syllables, that what was said between the syllables was as important or more important than the words themselves. That it was a very evocative screenplay. And Michael was a director who wanted to tell a different kind of story. It was a meditation of sorts on loss. And I was at a point in my own life where it was kind of like no acting, please. I have close relationships with my animal brothers and sisters, my cats, my dogs. And, I would sometimes get bad dreams about losing my cat. We've all become very close to our animals after what we've been through with the pandemic and quarantine. And so I didn't feel like it would be a huge challenge to play this role, that it would come out just very easily, because I felt I had the relationships and the life experience to tell this story. So that's what drew me to it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Channeled his own love for his own animals.
I like what he says about the haiku.
I do too a lot. Yeah.
And I really feel like he hit the nail on the head. Like it's the space between, it's the things that are not said in this movie that really like make you think the most.
Yeah.
It's those long silent pauses.
Quiet meditation on loss. That's really
Yeah.
cool. Really fucking good movie, man.
Yeah. And he's right, man. Everyone with a pet can relate.
Oh yeah. Interestingly enough, I got Mr. Kitty right then. Right when that happened.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. April 20th of 2020.
Wow.
Yeah, I got him 4/20/2020. It was the day after my birthday, and I was so scared and alone. I was like,
But you had Mr.
I need a
Kitty.
boy, and he
Yeah.
became my boy. Yeah.
Man.
Now, the love for a pet is a really beautiful thing.
They do so much for us, man. Like it's
Wild.
they're not just ornaments and
No.
decorations.
God,
Like,
no.
I mean, they are literally like your life partners in a sense. They keep you company, but also their lifespans are shorter than ours.
Yeah.
So you get a pet when you have a kid, the kid can grow up and watches the pet die
Yeah.
and learns about loss,
Yeah.
learns how to handle it when like you die eventually.
I mean, that is a very important thing, I thought.
Yeah.
At least it sure was for me. I remember when our first dog that really made an impact on my life passed. It was
It hurts.
so bad.
But can you imagine if your first experience of death was like your dad?
No.
The first one.
No, I can't.
You know,
Literally
like-
can't. Yeah.
Pets are like proxy. They're like a proxy for human relationships too, and they're like easier to get along with. And
Yeah,
they
not so
don't-
judgmental.
yeah, I don't know. They just do so much for us emotionally and psychologically.
Absolutely.
I don't understand not having a pet.
Or animal abuse of any
That's
sort.
great, yeah.
It truly rocks my world, and I'm so glad I've been able to not like have friends that do that, you know.
Yes.
I wouldn't allow it in my life.
Someone would have to get hurt. Dude.
Yeah, exactly.
Not the pet.
You ain't be doing that. Yeah, it'd be a human.
Yeah, I mean, we could have an hour-long conversation
course.
about how I don't understand abuse.
Yeah. And just pets in general, you know.
Or you could just go listen to the Kendrick Lamar Drake beef, and then you'll get it.
And not
Tied it in, baby.
They're not like us, okay?
They're not like us.
They're not like us. All right.
I don't know how people like Drake do it, man. They're just fucking
With a lot of, I think, perks.
they're weird people, and I don't understand their
Yeah.
mentality.
Yeah.
But yeah, don't abuse anyone, and
Don't
love
abuse
your
your
pets.
animals. Love your animals.
And appreciate the love that you have.
Yeah. Whether that
Before
be
it's
from
gone.
anything.
Yeah.
You know? Anyone or anything.
If there's really like a lesson to take from Pig, it's that everything that you love will one day be gone.
Yeah.
So just really like get the most out of it now.
Yeah. Yeah. Try your very best, no matter how hard it might seem, to just not take it for granted.
Yeah. What does he tell that young chef in the restaurant scene? He said it in the clip we played. He's like, we only get one shot at this.
You don't get to truly love that many things.
Yeah. There's not that we don't get more than one chance to love the things we love. Like, what are you doing wasting your time in this fucking restaurant?
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, brother. Oh, you're speaking deep, my guy. You're hitting me in the heart chords.
Yeah. But that's why we're doing this.
No shit.
You know?
Let's get out of those restaurants.
Yeah.
Build something new.
Our jobs are paying our bills.
Yeah.
But this stuff is feeding my soul.
100%.
And
Yeah.
you got to have a good balance.
No, yeah. The more I've been jumping into creativity recently, the more I've been enjoying my life just over the last like year or so.
Yeah.
Whether that be any sort of hands-on projects or anything, it's been a enlightening and enjoyable experience to say the least.
Yeah. You know, there's like the saying, you don't live to work, you work to live.
Yeah.
Your job should basically, if you're one of the lucky people who's like doing what you love
Yeah.
and
Good for you.
making a living off of it, you know, keep at it, brother. Like,
Yeah,
good for
seriously.
you.
Yeah.
But 90% of us are just working a job because it pays us.
No.
So you really do it's very important to find a work-life balance
Definitely.
that allows you to feed your soul, because you just have this one go through life.
Yeah.
And if you spend your whole fucking life in a rat race and never have a hobby, never have a pet, and you're just in your fucking Microsoft Excel all day, working for some tech startup,
Yeah.
helping someone else get rich, you know, you might as well just kill yourself.
Well, I mean, truthfully, that's why people flock to entertainment, you know? It's an escape. It's all just escapism to get rid of this awful life that we choose to live through work and society like that, you know?
And it gets so hollow. Like the longer you maintain an empty life and you just escape your life through media, the worse it feels over time.
My God, don't I know it? My fucking YouTube feed is becoming so boring, and I'm subscribed to so many people.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
That's what this whole Kendrick Drake thing is really about, for Kendrick, at least.
Yeah.
Like, it's culture versus
Get this
industry.
dumb shit out of here.
I make music that electrifies them.
Yeah.
You make music that pacifies them.
them, dude.
It's like, what are the goals of art?
Yeah.
What are you doing other than making money?
I make vibes.
Yeah,
I sell vibes.
I vibe.
I vibe.
I make music that you can fuck teenagers to. It's really what he does.
I know. It's very upsetting.
Makes teenager fucking music.
Yeah. Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah.
That should be a hashtag.
We should make memes about Drake after this.
Sweet. I actually have a couple to show you.
Well,
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think we need to say much more about Pig.
No.
You should all definitely go watch it.
100%. This is
beautiful.
going to be a top runner in our bracket.
Yeah.
For sure.
It's not like the most entertaining movie for like a crowd. Like if you're gonna have a movie night, have your friends over, it's probably not like the best choice.
No, this is like you and a couple buddies, like close buddies, for sure. Or just yourself.
Yeah, or just watch it alone.
Yeah.
Sit in bed, put some headphones on, and just watch it.
Follow your passion.
Yeah. It's just kind of one of those. It's like I have a term called headphones music that I use.
I
like,
get that. Yeah.
There's certain types of rap music that's just better when you have headphones on and you're like sitting on a bus or a train, like looking out the window.
For sure.
And then there's better music to play basketball to, or like at a party. Obviously, those are just completely different contexts. This movie is real like headphones music for me.
Headphone movie.
Yeah.
Plane movie.
Yeah. No, plane movies are like.
I know.
That's like.
Past the time.
Yeah, what would be a good. Anything
Jurassic
by
Park
Seth
3.
MacFarlane. Seth MacFarlane is airplane movies.
Oh, God. All right. Yeah.
Well, I guess we'd better go.
It was nice to see you again.
Goodbye.
My pig, oh pig, where have you gone? Oinky oink oink. Pig, my pig, oh pig, where have you gone? Oinky oink oink. Left the woods to find my pig, who has stolen my goddamn pig. Sweet baby truffle pig, I love that pig, and no one steals my sweet gentle pig. Portland streets are hard for pigs, meals are fit for kings and pigs. A truffle hunter was the pig, my only friend, the pig, the pig. Pig, my pig. Oh pig, where have you gone? Oinky oink oink. Pig, my pig. Oh pig, where have you gone? Oinky oink oink. Echoes of a chef's old pig, mix of flavors, smell like pig. In a Portland freak court for my pig, finding out who stole my pig. Anti-John Wick, I love that pig, don't want revenge, just a pig. No one gets hurt if I get my pig, say my pig's name. You pig, Brandy. Brandy was my truffle pig. Pig, my pig. Oh pig, where have you gone? Oinky oink oink. Pig, my pig. Oh pig, where have you gone? Oinky oink oink. Portland streets are hard for pigs, meals are fit for kings and pigs. Truffle hunter was the pig, my only friend, the pig, the pig. Portland streets are hard for pigs, meals are fit for kings and pigs. Truffle hunter was the pig, my only friend, the pig, the pig. Echoes of a pig, mix of fit for kings and pigs. A truffle hunter was the pig, my only friend, the pig, the pig, the pig, and the pig, pig, the pig. Brandy. My pig, Brandy. My pig, only on you gone. Oink, where have you gone? Oink, oink, oink. 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 Echoes of a chef's old pig, a mix of flavors, smell like pig. In a Portland fight club for my pig, finding out who stole my pig. Anti-John Wick, I love that pig, don't want revenge, just a pig. No one gets hurt if I get my pig, say my pig's name. You pig, Brandy. Brandy was my truffle pig. Pig, my pig. Oh pig, where have you gone? Oinky oink oink. Pig, my pig. Oh pig, where have you gone? Oinky oink oink.